Hi there. Yes, so the next lesson is on TSQL, TSQL SQL Server. So, TSQL, if you're not yet familiar with it, is exactly the same language used in SQL Server. So, what is TSQL? TSQL is known as Transact Structured Query Language. It's a proprietary product of Microsoft and a primary language of programming SQL Server. As a matter of fact, it's actually a language used in SQL Server itself. So it is essentially an extension of SQL Server, or rather, it's an extension of SQL language itself, the standard, and adds additional functionality to control the data and database objects within it. It supports a wide range of operations, including data definition, data manipulation, and data control, and data query. For more information, because you would need more information about this, you can just click on this link and you would see. Let me open it up now. Okay, yeah, here it's loading. Yeah, yeah. So there's a whole lot more about TSQL that you can know about, so far such as comparison between that's the standard SQL and TSQL, um, and other parts which I mentioned earlier. Now, to obviously, if you're not yet signed up to Debonair Training, and enrolled in the LMS subject SQL, you intro in SQL tutorial, you won't be able to access this link. However, all you have to do is send me an email directly or contact us by our contact us form on www.training.com, and our administrative staff will process it for you, get you eligibility for the course, and take it from there. What are the requirements for TSQL? You need any edition of SQL Server and uh, SQL Management Studio, which is SMS. So these are the logos for them uh, individually. So how once you've got you need to install SQL Server. The link is actually for these SQL Server Management Studio is you need to click on it if you are signed up. Otherwise, you just Google for it and install it on your system. How to use SQL? How to use TSQL? There are endless possible usages, especially when you use a tool such as SQL Management Studio interface. For instance, with any database, we can create, update, delete, transform data with views, triggers, computed columns, stored procedures, user definitions, user functions, sorry, user defined functions, transactions, error handling, and so on and so forth, as is written here. For this short tutorial, though, we will use SSMS to demonstrate the real-world use scenario of computed columns functionality. So essentially, we're going to be creating a database with TSQL and then creating a table, inserting data into the table, and doing all the CRUD really, which is creating, reading, updating, deleting data in a database. We're going to be doing all of that. Um, so by now you should have finished um, installing the SSMS on your system as well as SQL Server, as is written here. If you are stuck though during the installation of it, because it can be a little bit clumsy depending on the system you're using. Some of you are on Mac, some are Linux, some are Windows. All you have to do is follow the instructions here, which is just go on YouTube, put in the keywords, describing the keywords is obviously you have to have SQL Server, the OSSMS there. And then the kind of problem, kind of describe it with some keywords, put it on YouTube, and it usually comes up with a video of somebody else who has solved that problem and is trying to guide other people so they don't have to suffer and waste the time they had until they solve the problem. Hopefully, you will return the favor once you become very good at what you do too with TSQL. So, um, yeah, so let's go on to SSMS now. Once hopefully you've installed it and started it up, and I've got my instance here. This is my instance of SSMS. So once you've got this installed, you will have to connect your SQL. You have to connect it to your SQL. So to connect SSMS to your SQL server, you usually come up with this interface here. And if it doesn't come up automatically, so let me cancel this now. If it doesn't come up automatically, then it just means you have to click here and click the database engine that comes up. And the server name, obviously, when you install the SQL server or SQL server, you should have a server name. It usually comes up with a server name. That server name is what is automatically detected, but you should make a note of it when you're installing the SQL server so that you can put it here if it's not there, or you can select it, or you could browse for it. Okay, and then of course you got a username and your automatic password already in there. So all you need to do now is click connect, and then it connects it for you to the server. So you got that there now. So this will serve as the client for you to the SQL server. So we got that there. What I'm going to do is minimize, arrange the windows so that you can see both of them. Um, so I'll just put this, dock this one here, and then here I'm going to make that here like so. Okay, fine. So okay, we've got wait, yeah. So we've got it here now. So what we see here is what is supposed to be here. So what we're supposed to do now is select the new query button. Select the button new query and type create database employees. So this is how we're going to create the database with SSMS. So click on, put your highlight there as it says, as you can see, so this is highlighted. So your server is highlighted there. So you now click on the new query button. Okay, and that's taking some time. There you go. So that's opened up now. So Control V if you're using Windows, that will paste it there. And it says highlight all of the text and hit F5 or execute or click the execute button. So highlight this or click Control A, which selects everything, and then just press F5 on your keyboard or click this execute button here. I'm going to click F5, okay? And there you go. It says command completed successfully. Completion time is here. So that's exactly the result we want, okay? And so that's exactly what we have here, right? That's exactly what we have here. So that's fine. Now we're going to create a table. So next to switch to create a table within the employee database, we first need to switch to it by typing use employees, then go. So we're just going to copy that instead of typing it. And because we have to highlight it, so whatever you highlight is what it runs the query. We are okay to not delete everything else there. So we just highlight this, press F5 again to switch to the table we created, and there we go. We have that one is done. Okay, so that's executed, and now what we're going to do is say now select button new query and create table. DBO company cards are shown. Note DBO stands for database owner and depicts the schema. Okay, so DBO depicts the database owner and the schema of that would obtain for this particular table. So the product ID column is the primary key for the column. The integer is for the primary key. The money and variable character. These are all data types. Only the price and card description have no data when a row is inserted. Oh, can have no. Only the price and card description can have no data when a row is inserted or changed, and that is because uh, only the price and card description. That's because no. You see, they've got no there, so that's why. Whereas the other ones are not no. Okay, so what we're gonna do is copy. I mean, not copy. Um, we're going. Okay, yes. What we the code you're going to use is this one here. Create table DBO cards, right? So let's type that one then. So we go there and create table DBO company cars. So we got our code now. Just so we know what we're doing, I'll go over it again. So we're saying create the table DBO company cars where the product ID integer primary key not null. Car name is a column name. Car name variable character 25 not null. Price is another column name. It's money data type and it's null. Car description is another column. Variable character max and it's null. As you will discover later, um, when we say max, it actually takes the maximum number of maximum data type number. In SQL Server, this is or TSQL, this is allowed. Whereas if it is in MySQL, which we'll cover later, you will discover that max doesn't work. Instead, you have to put the actual maximum data type number there, which is 255. Okay, so we're going to click F5 now, or press F5 to see what will happen. Okay, but before I do that, let me just copy this one in case something goes. Okay, we've got an error here, so we can see the error here, and this is very informative as SSMS does give us error messages which are very informative where the error code and it's saying that choose a different database name because it already exists. So I can tell you, I know why this is happening because I'd already created a database. I mean, a database called employees before. So I've deleted that. I've deleted it now, but somehow the database table is still in there, even though the database doesn't exist. So I will troubleshoot this now with us here to find out what the problem is. So problem solved. Okay, so that's done.